Hello, my name's Miki Byrne and I'm a poet. I'm going to read 3 poems that are a sequence about finding jade rocks off the coast of California. The first part is called Seeking the Jade. He told me how they took the jade, diving deep, holding their breath as their forefathers had done countless times before, with only a weight belt for stability and their long hair flaring in the current that washed around them. They selected the rocks by sight and touch, bringing one up with airbags and strength, then manhandling it to the beach. A pulley was employed to raise the stone up the cliff, slowly, carefully, with the rope creaking and water dripping into their upturned faces. As they watched their prize rise to the cliff lip above. It was tricky, he said, to pull the stone over the top, where Silent William waited with the flatbed truck backed right up to the edge. They would wrestle the rock into the truck, fix it carefully, then drive back to the workshop. It would be left to dry for days, weeks even, till the weed had shriveled to dusty ribbons and been scraped away. Now, he said, the work would really begin. Part 2. Assessing the Jade. Silent William walked slowly round the rock. He touched it constantly, like a blind man reading a stranger's face. His calloused hands probed as he closed his eyes and pictured the pale seams that veined the inside of the boulder. He felt the flaws, the small aberrations of crystal or fossil. William's skill allowed him to know the stone as another would know their garden or the behaviour of a much-loved horse. He whispered thanks to the spirits and asked that they grant permission for him to lay his blade upon the boulder, and that they would guide his hand when he did. His sharp lapis eyes took in every bump and crevice. The thickened pads of his fingers followed curve and hollow. He continued for many hours, until he knew the contours of this boulder that held the gentle green of jade locked inside. Satisfied, he stepped back, his appraisal complete. He now knew where he would place his first chisel. Part 3. Cutting the Jade. Silent William placed the cold chisel in the designated spot. His fingers made tiny adjustments to the squared-off blade as he settled it into the crevice he had chosen so carefully. He gripped the chilled steel handle in his big fist and fixed his sharp blue eyes upon the top that had spread like a split mushroom from previous beatings. He raised the lump hammer. He did not need to look at his right hand as it swung the hammerhead in a perfect arc, up to where the weight balanced perfectly for a split second upon the pillar of his arm. The descent was swift, the impact like that of Thor's own hammer. With a mighty crack the boulder split. The 2 halves fell away like walnut shells, and the milky jade shone dully in the first light to ever have touched it. The newborn sheen threw the softest green glow back into the weathered face of Silent William.